Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Uninformed Fan. It is Monday. We are back after a short but well-needed break. Jeffrey, you're looking good today. I like the green color. Hair, as always, just looking amazing.
Yeah, thanks. I decided to take a shower before the podcast today but busy day ahead of myself. Yeah, busy day ahead. Multiple doctor's appointments today for the kids. Also, band concert tonight for one of the kids. So, tis the season.
Tis the season indeed. I think that me and the missus, if I can get a little bit more sleep, unfortunately, the dogs kept me up all night. But if I get the little rest, I think we're going to go try ice tonight over at the Gaylord.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the drug. Yeah, no. What?
So anyway, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I hear it's supposed to be fantastic, so enjoy.
We have never been, and it's literally 10 minutes away from our house, right up the road off 429 there, and I think we're gonna try it out here. Little Gaylord action.
Yeah, I have another fantasy sweat tonight, so we'll see.
A lot of people do it. Fortunately for people like me, obviously. This was just a blip in time. Too many injuries this year, unfortunately. I'm really proud of the way that the guys worked, except for Joe Burrow, which we'll get into that this week. But it's time to pass it on to another deserving member, and it I don't know who it's going to be. There were some very interesting matchups.
Not going to be TJ.
There's some very interesting matchups in our league this week. Kyle Pitts just showing up out of absolutely nowhere. For 45 points.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Jacobs goes off. Olave.
Yeah.
Travis Etienne Jr., whom I traded, puts up 34 points for the opposition. I think the biggest one here is obviously Colby Parkinson putting up, 22 points.
Right. Yeah. Just another swift kick in the nuts.
If you would have told me that anybody's fantasy football team started Jahmyr Gibbs and Junkins and they only gave you 11 points, but you still put up 182 points, I think I would have called you absolutely crazy. Big shout out to Mark, who just started Dallas Goedert out of nowhere. And, the Philly shovel specials, just, feeding him over the 1 yard line. That was just absolutely. We're going to get into all of that plus much more. Let's get into it. Let's go back in time a little bit to Thursday. We didn't have our Friday show, but Thursday we did have the Falcons and the Bucs. I guess this is where we thought Kyle Pitts kind of emerged from the ashes in this one. Again, no Drake London. You knew that it was going to be a little bit dependent on him doing something. Baker, unfortunately, has the costly pick at the end. The division was right in front of him. Obviously it opened up a big door, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But, the Bucs kind of stumbling. And, Jeff, I'm going to say it. I know that you have said in the past, there's some serious trouble in Tampa. And I'm not talking about what's on the field. I'm talking about the locker room. I'm talking about the comments that Todd Bowles made in the post-game interview. What's up, Welfare? The fact that he said the coaches have done everything that they can do, this is a player thing, that is huge. I do believe he dropped 7 F-bombs in his presser conference that game as well. You could tell that he's upset. And then I saw a little something this morning while I was doing my morning, shall we say it, squats. I don't know what we want to call that here on the Uninformed Fan, just morning duty. That a former player that is still connected in there says there's some serious infighting going in with the players as well. I don't know what's happening, Jeff, but you can see it's translating on the field. The synergy just doesn't seem there quite as much. But again, I'm more concerned about what Todd Bowles said. I mean, he basically just turned this right around and said, y'all ain't doing your job.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been doing their job. It's been, if you would have told me after the way that they started that this is where we would be, I don't know if I would have believed you, especially getting back healthy. You would expect to have some assimilation when it comes to the team in itself, and we've definitely regressed, and so that's been really tough. I don't know. Listen, you can't give up 373 yards to Kirk Cousins, 30 of 44 when they have their best weapon out. That's straight on the defense, but also Baker missed throws. I don't know how both those fumbles aren't recovered by Tampa Bay.
Bro,
Um,
the
like
one where there was one Falcon and like 5 Bucs players there. That's just
I,
freaky.
I don't get it. And then like you get the sack on the last drive, Cousins fumbles the ball. We come out with the ball from the pile and they announce a simultaneous recovery, which I've never heard in my entire life. It's just like I don't know, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. You know, you're up by 2 scores. They don't get the 2-point conversion. But somehow are because they do this stupid analytic thing, but somehow they get 3 possessions. And they come down and fucking and get the field goal. And yeah, it's all bad right now. I appreciate the way some of the players responded. I think there is accountability, at least in that locker room. You saw Mike Evans, Tristan Wirfs, whether it be also Antoine Winfield Jr. A lot of stuff posted on social media. So we will see how they respond against Carolina coming up.
Mike Evans off the field gave me Jamar Chase vibes. When Jamar Chase was running off the field, just one effing stop. You could get one, and I do believe, what was it, 3rd and 28?
3rd and 28. 3rd and 28. Yeah.
3rd and 28, and they converted on 4th down. I believe that one as well.
Yeah.
Not what you want to see heading into the home stretch. You'd rather have these things done a little bit beforehand. We'll see what happens and see if the Tide Bulls get the team fired up. Obviously, our good friend Pilk over there is calling for Tide Bulls to be fired as well.
A lot of people are.
This is something that we went back a long time ago, though. Do you remember when everybody wanted him fired, and then all of a sudden they went on this amazing run, and everybody's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I feel like we're kind of back into that. What? It's a week-to-week league, right? What have you done for me lately?
And if you go 2-3 to finish the season, then you're most likely winning the division and in the playoffs. And you have your foot in the door. You have a chance to go out there and play. Even like some of the top teams right now. It's funny that Chicago looks like they might be the healthiest, but even if you look at Devontae Adams, just goes down for the LA Rams. Huge loss.
A lot of injuries this week.
Micah Parsons, which we'll talk about, but like there's now, you just need to get in the playoffs, and the door is kind of open for you to be able to make a run. So I'm still agree. Not really. I don't want to say I'm not worried, but I'm just kind of like, stay the course. Understand?
Well, this is definitely a big division. Can I also say this as we get ready to get into this divisional game between the Bucs and the Panthers this week? Can I just say that I absolutely love what the NFL did with the scheduling this year to have this many divisional games in November, December, when it really matters. Not having the season decided or division decided, halfway through. I think I absolutely love these really meaningful games at the end of the year. You did mention the Bucs do go into Carolina. Carolina had the lead in the division headed into Friday and this weekend after the Bucs lost. Unfortunately, they go to the Saints and lose another one. I tell you, I said on the pre-show, the Saints out here, killing the Bucs playoffs host by beating them at home. And then they're putting the EKG on them and shocking them back to life by taking down the Panthers. Big win for the Saints there. I know that the Bucs hate the Saints, but you had to love to have seen that one. I'll tell you, since the Saints made the quarterback change, which I thought, again, Spencer Rattler was doing okay, this Tyler Show guy, he's been doing some stuff, man, and it seems like this team has bought into it. The defense is re-energized, probably because they're getting a little bit of rest in between series now. But this Saints team looks like it's definitely on the up and up on the way to the end of the year. Obviously, they're playing for next year as well. But big win for the Saints here. Panthers lose, puts them back in a tie this week. This game was a little – it wasn't pretty. Let's just say that. It was not a pretty football game. But again – gives the Bucs back the tie to head into Carolina, and you have them twice still. So it's gonna those 2 games, right? I mean, those 2 games are gonna determine the division. Correct. What happens if they split, Jeff?
I think because of the divisional loss that Carolina just suffered, it's kind of swung back toward Tampa Bay if they split. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I do think, and this is really funny too, I think I mentioned this stat, right? So past 3 years, the Carolina Panthers have been favored on the spread 13 times. In those games that they're favored, they are 0-13 against the spread. They were favored against the Saints this week. They are now 0-14 against the spread when they are favored. So very interesting. I agree with you with the slow thing. It's kind of wild. I looked up and I saw this 17-play drive in the second quarter that took 11 minutes and 22 seconds off the clock for 95 yards. Just, it's backbreaking as a defense, but it's also really encouraging and gets everybody rallied around as an offense as well too, on both sides of the ball. So just, I mean, yeah, they're being efficient, and this is kind of how they're just kind of willing themselves to wins here, which is really impressive considering as well too that they, you know, are a bunch of veteran guys who really don't have a lot to play for right now. And
They have
somehow
the best.
Kellen Moore's got them fired up. So
they have the best record in the division. The Bucs and Panthers are both 2-2 in the division. The Saints are 3-2 in the division. And the worst team. That's absolutely crazy. And yeah, to your point, I don't see what the tiebreaker would be here, Jeff. I guess the non-conference games. I don't know, because they're both 7-7. They're both 2-2 in the division. So if they split there, I don't know what this tiebreaker is. I guess non-conference. I don't know.
Meow money. Yeah, I mean, listen, as underdogs, they're incredible, honestly. And Tampa Bay, it's either going to go one way or another for Tampa Bay here. It's either going to be you're going to rally around and you guys are all going to come play your absolute ass off this Sunday, or you're going to go through some turmoil and we're going to see how broken it really is. And if that happens, look, there's only one of two ways this goes. Either Todd Bowles gets fired if they don't make the playoffs, or they make the playoffs and they have a chance to go on a run and he can keep his job. So, but
and I would say that is a general rule, but that also didn't work out too well for the Patriots this week. So, I mean, there are exceptions to the rules. Obviously, it's a field type of thing. And I will say this as well. The 3-time did chime in here. It goes against best win percentages in common games. Again, whatever that is as well. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. It's going to determine the division. Another big game, Jeffrey, that we have coming up. The Chicago Bears, obviously playing this Saturday against the Green Bay Packers. We're going to get into that, but we had to take care of business first against the Cleveland Browns. I had this a little bit of an upset alert. I did like the Browns plus 7.5, but it was a lean. And Jeffrey, as we always say, there are no what?
No leans.
There are no leans. You either love it or you don't. And I did not take it, and I'm glad I didn't, because the Bears just absolutely beat down the Browns. I will tell you, this is probably one of the best games I've seen from Caleb Williams throwing the ball in this cold weather. I think it was like the third coldest game. Jeremy, if you want to correct me on that. I do believe it was like negative 20 wind chill.
Earmuffs, yeah.
It was good thing they had the painted nails, to keep the hands warm there. But yeah, I mean, Caleb was just so surgical. He had the one bad throw, and I literally sent a text to Cousin Clay. I was like, this dude is just absolutely surgical throwing darts today, and then he throws the one that should have been intercepted. Now, I will say there were some throws, like the touchdown to DJ Moore. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to throw it up and get others involved, right? And I think that's what you had to do. He did drop it perfectly over the DB or the corner's head, and then of course there was the other one there that DJ Moore just went up and got it. Man, it was so good to see DJ Moore actually break a smile and get excited. Holy macaroons, I've been looking for it the whole year. This was the first time I really felt like, holy crap, DJ Moore is involved. And I was looking very, very close, Jeffrey, when Caleb Williams went over to him and I saw that interaction. Man, it was just great. It was just great. I absolutely loved it. All around great game. Biggest takeaway I got to take away from this is the Bears defense cannot blitz and leave their corners on islands right now, because they are getting cooked every time. They tried to blitz Shedeur Sanders, I do believe, 3 times, and they got cooked all 3 times. And honestly, you talked about the great throw to Jerry Jeudy down the sidelines. That should have been a touchdown as well. It ends up being an interception because it bounces off his chest right into Jalen Johnson's arm. But he was cooked already as well. So we got to figure that point out. I know that we got people still on IR, people still trying to get healthy, but we have to get things right in that secondary, because if we cannot get to the quarterback, we're not going to have any chance in the playoffs. And we've seen that over and over again. It was just a great game, man. There's nothing more that I want to see out of this. There's really not. Love the ground game. Love the offensive line. Love the playing against Myles Garrett. I told you a little bit in the pre-show. I saw Myles Garrett on his ass more times than I can remember. I absolutely loved it. Luther Burden chipped Myles Garrett to the ground. Now, what is that saying? I'm not saying that he's stronger. I'm just saying he caught him off balance on a chip when he's not ready for it. And that's what you got to do. And that's what we should have been doing to get ready for the Green Bay Packers this week. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Great game. Great move. No talk about the national media about Shedeur Sanders being the next great thing this week. We'll see what happens next week.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are still very much rooting for his demise and hoping that he goes away. But I thought, like I said, I thought he made some decent plays. I thought he got very unlucky on that throw to the end zone.
His deep balls are so impressive.
Yeah.
And the one that he did to what's the kid out of Texas, the rookie? Bond, Isaiah Bond.
Yeah, he was Alabama, Texas. He's a 5-star wide receiver coming out of high school, kind of bounced around a little bit to a few different places. So
saw a little clip of him when he was doing his streak across the quarterback, getting ready for his play. This was one of the deep balls that he made. Shedeur Sanders literally told him run a post, changed his route while he was running across, told him run a post, and that was one that he came across and had the huge deep ball down to the 2-yard line. So the kid's got it, man. I don't know what the Browns are doing with them. One of the takes that I heard on this is, when you're the head coach, you want your guy, your system, your guy. So apparently he's not his guy. I don't know what that whole means to me. Give me a winner and I'll adjust if I'm really that good of a coach.
But remember, we talked about this, right? Especially as a coach on the hot seat, you kind of want to be right. And so it's really tough to be like, I drafted Dylan Gabriel here and then was kind of forced into taking Shedeur Sanders, and I was wrong. Like no head coach who's on the hot seat wants to admit that they were wrong about something, because it becomes a data point against you when they're looking to get rid of you. So it's really kind of a tough situation here and a tough spot for Shedeur, in my opinion. But I think he's handled it with grace. I think he's done very well so far. And listen, he's a rookie.
I think he's done great for a rookie, man.
He didn't grow a lot from the first time he stepped into a game against Baltimore to where he is now. And I thought the Chicago Bears defense played really well. They took away what the one thing that Cleveland really wanted to do, which is Keshawn Judkins, who did absolutely nothing. So I think that's a very positive sign, especially going forward for them. So yeah. And
another big game. Go ahead.
Not for nothing, I know that I've been critical of the Bears and I've been on the Packer bandwagon for a little bit here.
2 years, but who's counting?
I like the Bears this week.
I love the Bears this week, dude. We're going to talk about that.
And
our show this week is going to be on Thursday, not Friday this week, which we'll talk about that a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, let's get into this aspect of it then as well. So then we'll kind of lead into that. The Packers go into the Denver Broncos and lose 26-34. Truth be told, Jeffrey, I had a unit on the Packers. But you know what was really good, Jeff? If they won, I obviously would be upset from the Bears, but I got paid. They lost. I happily donated to feel the joy of them losing. I don't want to see Micah Parsons go down. Nobody wants to see, well, there's some very shady fans in dark depths of the world that root for injuries. I don't want that, but it happened. So anyway, the Broncos 34. Jeff, let me start off with this. Let's talk about the Parsons torn ACL, obviously out for the year. What does this do for the Green Bay Packers the rest of the way? Obviously, you were one that was on them. Jordan Love is playing at a great that defense, though, with him, obviously a lot of issues, right, that you're causing with offenses. So what does this do for their Super Bowl odds, their Super Bowl playoff? I mean, obviously they're in a position where it looks like they're going to make the playoffs regardless, no matter what. We say that, but who knows? But is anybody really scared of the Packers now without Micah Parsons in the playoffs?
Yeah, I don't know. And we'll have to see how they look without him. I one of the things that I had loved about Jordan Love the past few games in the past few weeks is how comfortable he's looked. Every single time he stepped back, he's just so calm. It's drop back, plant back foot, let it go. And you haven't been able to really get him off his spot in the past few weeks. Now, what I loved about that was actually what kind of came back to bite him in the ass on this, was that there was multiple times where he was very comfortable dropping back, planting that back foot, getting ready to let it go. All of a sudden, defense was a little bit tighter in the secondary, and now all of a sudden they're bearing down on you and he's getting sacked. And I thought there were some really bad moments that he had there. I don't know. I got to see what it looks like, man. Christian Watson got hurt in this game too.
That's what I was just looking up. Not to discount as well, Christian Watson going down.
They're up And you think, the world is complete. I started Jordan Love in fantasy. I thought for sure that it wasn't going to matter. And I love the matchup anyway. I didn't care. And he goes for, whatever, 200 and, 15 yards in the first half. And you're like, he might throw for 400 this game. We might just go ahead and ride off into the sunset, not have to sweat a Monday Night Football game. And he throws for 60 yards in the second half. And so kudos to the Broncos. I thought this was a huge win for them. I keep on saying it. They can't keep on getting away with it. Yet they obviously can. Somehow they're doing it. They're doing it based off defense. They're getting the right home games at the right times. It's just, good for them, I guess.
I will say this one kind of felt like a win, right? I mean, we talked about some of the other Broncos games when you said that they can't keep getting away with it. And it just like those games in general was just like, there was no reason that they deserved to win those games, right? So it's like, this one, I don't think that they did anything that was like, whoa, they didn't deserve to win that game. They actually played a good all-around game, I believe. Bo Nix had some great throws. I mean, Denver might be for real.
I mean,
I don't like it.
I hope not, because I don't like Sean Payton, and I think Bo Nix is super average. But is what it is.
A lot of people
gotta give credit where credit's due.
Yeah,
and credit to the Broncos for winning this football game. When they looked like they were buried, bro. They looked like there was like at halftime you couldn't have told me that they were gonna fucking come back and do that. So
crazy NFL, man, for entertainment purposes only.
Exactly.
Well, let's get into the AFC. A lot of divisional games here. We had the Ravens and the Bengals. Joe Burrow coming off his comment saying that he needs to be happy to continue playing.
Yeah.
Joe, 2 weeks ago, you came out here and said, I make a lot of money to play a child's game, and people are giving their hard-earned money to come see me. I was ready to throw you on my shoulders, carry you into the Bengals jungle, whatever the hell it is, to play some football. Very excited for you. You have a bad game that game. Not necessarily you, but the team. So then we go into this week where you make the comments about, I'm just not happy. Brother, you are getting paid $50 million a year. Do you think we enjoy going to our miserable jobs, 9 to 5? Sometimes, Jeffrey, even though this is probably one of the highlights of my week, I don't want to get up and get in front of this camera and have this lovely talk with you. There are weeks of that, Jeff. You're getting paid $50 million. You made a lot of concessions to get your buddies, and rightfully so, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, to get big contracts. You have $50+ million or whatever the hell it is. But now you just don't know if you can keep going. And let me tell you, you shouldn't have played last game then. You should not have played this game against the Ravens because you looked like you didn't give a shit. And RIP to all of the fantasy owners out there that started you in the first week of the playoffs.
I did.
Even though I'm in the toilet bowl, I'm still in there and left the miraculous, the wonderful CJ Stroud on my bench to put up 7 points. Jeff, obviously the Bengals have a lot of issues. There's been a lot of lines drawn here between Carson Palmer, obviously, and his dissatisfaction with the Cincinnati Bengals and getting out. There's been also Andrew Luck correlations here where he retired super early. The dude's already got his bag. He doesn't need to play. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Andrew Luck, got his bag. He don't need to play. We're talking about generational wealth. I don't know. If you're a Bengals fan, bro, you got to just be beating your head against the wall. I don't even know what the answer is here. If I'm the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm just shutting Joe Burrow down. You might as well keep him healthy. There's no point in playing him, especially after these comments and the way that he looks. He also says that this has nothing to do with Cincinnati Bengals. Does he have a girlfriend, Jeff, or a boyfriend? Is he lacking in the love department? Is he alone when he comes home? $50 million and being alone all the time, I will say, is probably a lonely place to be.
I think it's probably the opposite. He's got some Sports Illustrated swimsuit chick. When he got his house broken into, she was there, and that was part of the thing that it came out. It wasn't public knowledge that they were dating, and then she's the one who had to call the police when he was at his game. House got broken into, and then it came to light. That was the situation. And I think something like she has a girlfriend too. There's a whole thing. Cool Joe
Are
Shout
we
out
doing
to
like
you.
OnlyFans shit here?
No, I don't think it's like that. Anyway, I think he's just in a weird spot where you're at that age, just like Josh Allen is, and you're coming to realize that there's more to life and things than just football. And there's love. And Josh Allen obviously balled out this week, but for most of the year he's been a little underwhelming for what he normally is. I feel like, and listen, he's got a lot going on in his life. He just got married to Haley Steinfeld. They just announced they're having a child together. Like, these are legitimate, life altering things. And you got to remember these guys are human beings. And so, yeah, I get it. Joe's going through it. It's winter right now. You're in Cincinnati. Do you really want to be showing up, trying to play against the Baltimore Ravens, bearing down on you, hitting you 15 times in a game? I don't know. That's a tough thing to sell to a guy, especially when they're out of the playoffs and not playing for anything. So hopefully it's just a little blip in the radar, and we'll keep this moving.
Jeff, I just want to say this real quick. I just did a quick little search here, and there's an article out here from the Times of India is the article, and they do quote his girlfriend Olivia Ponton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and just what I'm reading of this little quirk, I get it. I mean, this is a quote, apparently. When you're dating, try not to care about whether they like you. You should be thinking, do I like them? You need to flip that switch in your brain. For me, if someone starts to play a game, I'm just like, well, you lost me. Goodbye. Ask yourself, does this person have the same values as me? Do I see myself going to them for advice? If not, I don't really know if that's your person. You should have similar morals. That's it right there. Boom. 100%. Cut her loose, Joe. We got football to play.
If you remember,
figure that out in the offseason.
Well, anyway, I'm not getting into Kaepernick. We're not going to do that on the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
anyway.
no, he doesn't deserve any. But I will probably get a little bit to Cam Newton here coming up. Anyway.
Oh, God, why?
The Ravens do end up winning. It was ugly.
Yeah, Lamar throws the ball 12 times. Like, Derrick
shout
Henry
out to Isaiah Likely.
Times. Like, they don't have to do shit. It was such a beat down. The game was over. This game sucked.
Yeah.
Thank God for Red Zone. We can just don't have to watch it.
Did not suck. Chad, I'll be getting to some of these over here in just a second here, bud. Bills Patriots, Jeffrey, 35-31, different week, same script. And Chad, you will appreciate this as well. I've got a new betting strategy that we're just going to implement every single week here, Jeff. Bills down by 10. We are going to bet the full unit on the spread, whatever the spread is. If they get out by 14, again, whatever the spread is, and then a half unit on the money line every single week for the rest of this year. What do we have? 3 games left. Sorry that we won't have a very big sample size, but I do believe it's worked the last 2, and it will continue to work because Josh Allen apparently is Superman, and the NFL really wants him in the playoffs now that Patrick Mahomes is out. There's no other way to explain it. No other way to explain it. I watched it the week prior. Who was it the week prior that he played, that he ran for the 45-yard touchdown run? I saw the same shit here, man. I don't know what defensive coverage you're going to be you're playing here, but the guy has legs, and you probably need to have somebody on him, somebody spying him, or at minimal, your edges cannot lose the outside. It just does it every time.
Yeah, it was the Bengals they beat last week where he went Superman, Josh, and they had those 2 picks. Like literally back to back. It was just, yeah, it was crazy. And as much as their defense is not good, they got stops in the second half.
They did. They really stepped
as
it
bad
up.
as they were in the first half. And I mean, you talk about just getting the ball run down your throat. Pretty incredible. What do they average? Hold on. They averaged 9.8 yards per rush. The New England Patriots did. It just didn't happen in the second half, and they got a couple stops. They never really had the ball, and Buffalo controlled the clock, hit some big plays. They had some big penalties called. There was a pass interference on Khalil Shakir that was kind of game changing as well on a 4th down. So yeah, I mean they got some breaks that went their way, and you need that, the NFL, and they also have the best player on the field in Josh Allen, so it kind of helps out a little bit as well too. So.
Last year I said that I didn't feel like Josh Allen deserved the MVP. I still don't. I think Lamar Jackson should have had it. So now we're on the same. We're running the same script back here with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Josh Allen is the most valuable player to his team.
Yeah, and look, he didn't even throw for 200 yards. He spread it around a ton. I mean, what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different players got targets yesterday. It's really tough to trust anybody fantasy wise on that team. I benched both guys that I had, but it's just I don't know, man. They find a way. James Cook, good for them.
Here comes the cookie.
Good for them. And now you're looking at it, right? I mean, I know New England still has kind of a weaker schedule coming up the last few games, but I mean, they're right there. You know, they're 1 game back, so very interesting.
How can their schedule get any weaker than it was? I was bless you.
Excuse me.
I was hoping for some. Oh, they got Baltimore coming up. I mean, I don't know about that, but we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Bills. Good luck, I guess. I mean, that I'm going to implement that betting strategy. Jeff, I need you to jump on board with me. We need to waste money together.
I did it last week when they were down by 2 touchdowns to Cincinnati. So,
yep. Well, big game in Jacksonville, Jeffrey. Jets 20, Jaguars 48. Just rolled out a new quarterback. Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields both inactive. I don't know who the guy's name was. A 3-time if you want to slide it in there, if Jeffrey knows it.
Is it Brady Cook?
Sounds familiar. I got his first touchdown. It was always great when they show the parents in the stands for Brady that.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy them showing them all the games and all of their up and down roller coaster of emotions. But, you know, when he got his first touchdown of his NFL career, that was awesome. I think it was also Minchie the third or whatever ran to him to make sure he gave him the football.
Mitchell.
Mitchell. Adonai Mitchell.
Adonai, or however you say his name.
From the Colts that dropped bazillion balls and lost me a bunch of shit. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
All right, so Jets 20, Jags 48. Jeffrey, this Jaguars team looks for real. You had been on the Trevor Lawrence Jacksonville train 3 years ago, 2 years ago.
1 year ago.
Going into this year, I think you were still on it. I finally beat you down. Jeff, it's time to jump back on the Jaguars train, Jeffrey.
I can't
it's
do it.
time.
I'm a hater.
Let
now.
it go.
I'm a hater.
Just like
not only am I a hater.
Let it go.
Not only am I a hater because of me hyping up Trevor Lawrence since he came out of college and him being the guy that I think is just has the highest upside of quarterbacks. And we talked about, I've said multiple times, I think he's a generational prospect. I think there's only a certain amount of guys that come along that have the certain tools and the skill set that he provides. And yeah, they have a for real defense. I don't know what happened in this game. Like, how did the Jets? Jets had 7 different players rush the ball.
Well, their defensive coordinator got fired today, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
shout out to Sean Munson. Shout out to Sean Munson for dropping Trevor Lawrence this week in the big league and deciding to roll with Sam Darnold instead. I thought that
why would you go Sam Darnold against the Colts?
I don't know. I think it was Sam Darnold. Maybe that was my other league I played him against. Anyway, Trevor was great, man. He's unbelievable. I think Jacoby Myers completely changed that entire offense because they're not just predicated on Parker Washington and Brian Thomas Jr. And it's honestly opened up things for Brian Thomas Jr. They got Brenton Strange back. We all know Cohen loves to run both running backs at the same time. At the end, I feel like not having to be the every down back has been more beneficial to him. He looks fresher. I just think everything has gone really well. They did a great job drafting defensive line, and now they've predicated that with having really good DBs. They traded for Newsome that they got from Cleveland, which is an incredible pickup in the secondary. I don't want to do it though because fuck Liam Cohen, and I can't do it.
Yes, you can, Jeff.
Not to mention the fact that like most of these Jags fans, right? Like I don't have a positive view on Jags fans for the most part. And so now that they're
what do you mean, dude? They have been in shambles for so long.
And we have to welcome them as proper hosts next year as well too into our city. As they will be playing all their games at Camping World next year for home games. So here we are.
Jeff, you just have to Let the hate flow through you, Jeffrey.
No, I'm not doing this.
Let it flow through you, Jeffrey.
I'm not doing this.
Get on the Jacksonville Jags.
We're good.
Chargers Chiefs, Jeffrey. Patrick Mahomes.
I will root for the
ACL.
Texans. I will root for the Texans over the Jaguars.
See, that's just, you can't do that, man. That's just, come on. Stay on your bandwagons. Stay on your bandwagons. The Kingdom and the King have officially fallen. Kansas City knocked out of the playoffs. I don't think anybody outside of Kansas City really cares. However, we do care that Patrick Mahomes ripped his ACL. Probably going to miss the start of next season as well, as those do take a little bit. This is Kelsey's last year of his contract. I think it's more about this is the end of an era where
a sad way to end, though.
Not really. Let's be honest. It was over before this. Give me a break. It was over before this. Again, I don't see how Travis Kelce comes back. I mean, when I don't listen to his podcast that he makes $100 million, him and his brother. Kudos to them, by the way. Shout out. Get your bread. But I did see a clip on it. I can't remember which one, where he was talking to his brother and he's like, you go in, you put in the work and you just think, things are going to change and, I'm going to be able to come back from this. And it just hasn't happened. I mean, that's somebody that's talking with one foot out the door, in my opinion. And rightfully so. I mean, he's had a great career, probably a Hall of Fame career. It is what it is, bro. You can't all go out on top. I mean, you could have, I guess, but it is what it is. I don't think you're going to look back and regret anything if you're Travis Kelce. And I think this is just going to re-clock with Patrick Mahomes. But I will say this, and I can't remember who brought it up, but it was a very good point. When you have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce accounting for 40% of your salary cap, kind of the same thing we have with Joe Burrow over there, can you really complain about the pieces that are around you? How hard that is and then you have Chris Jones, who you paid. So I would assume between all of those is probably closer to 60. Is it really? I mean, you talk about the running game and there's no running backs. Now that I will say, running backs, no offense to running backs out there, seem to be a dime a dozen. It seems like you can pick up a good running back in the fifth. I mean, look at Kyle Monangai, 5th round pick, absolutely blazing it up. Very few first round running backs. When was Junkins pick out of the Browns? What round was him?
Second or third, I think.
Oh, he was. So that's a little earlier. But I mean, there's plenty of running backs out there that need a shot, right? So that, to me, the whole game plan with that is a little crazy. But you can't just keep putting it on one man's shoulders. Gardner Minshew comes in for this game, and I told Bianca, my lovely wife, who now gets to watch football games with me, when she says she can tolerate me during the Bears games. I watched Gardner Minshew come in after this, and he went right to Travis Kelce, and Travis Kelce either said like, "Let's go, we got this," or "I got you," or something like that, and proceeded to throw every pass directly to Travis Kelce since then. And like, I'm watching the last play before it ever happens, and I look at Bianca, I go, he's going to try to feed this to Kelce again. Does it again, picked off. But again, the Chiefs season was over. End of the dynasty. Let's all just breathe, appreciate it. As people like to talk about LeBron James and the Jordan argument and the GOATs arguments, appreciate what you have now. Let's argue later. So we can appreciate that. Was it 9 years, Jeff, or 10 years? I think this was the 10th year. And then, 9 years straight, the Kansas City Chiefs went to the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Shout out to the 3-time. It's the first postseason since 1998 with no Tom Brady, no Peyton Manning, and no Patrick Mahomes. So it'll look different. And, no
Joe Burrow, possibly no Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean,
Bills are still battling too. Yeah, I mean, what a hell of a run. Congratulations. I think it's time for Trav to do whatever he wants. I mean, if he wants to come back for another year without Mahomes, that's on him. I could see him retiring, and then when Mahomes comes back, hopping back on like a Gronk situation, for a little playoff push or something like that. Also, the NFL wouldn't mind those ratings to add Taylor Swift. She becomes pregnant, whatever. He goes through that whole thing. I'm literally fucking spitballing and talking shit here.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have any inside information that Taylor Swift is pregnant. If anybody's worried about that, I mean, it's over. But we've said the way that this roster has been constructed, right? You talk about when you have these big contracts and the way that things work, you have to hit on your draft picks, and they have not, in a certain sense. You know, at the same time, though, you're looking at that offense and you're saying, what the hell? Like,
This
how
was
did you
arguably his best
you
offense.
had Xavier Worthy, you had Rashee Rice back, you had Travis Kelce there, Pacheco, Kareem Hunt. They average 2 yards a carry. They can't run the ball. It's just
No
it is what it
line.
is.
Well,
But
they got rid of Tooney.
you have Hollywood Brown, you have Tyquan Thornton, who emerged a little bit for you this year as well, too. And it's wild that they can't figure it out and put it together.
Which definitely shout out to the Chiefs for Joe Thuney. Man, he's been a beast for the Chicago Bears.
He's been incredible this year, for sure.
Yep. Colts Seahawks, Jeffrey. Old Man Rivers comes out of retirement. The dad bods united across the country to watch this one. It was actually amazing watching the high school, because he's a high school football coach, for those that don't know, in the gym when he got that first touchdown, and like they're going just absolutely nuts. Absolutely amazing. I really thought that they were going to pull this off. They kicked the last second, or not last second, but I think there was 30 seconds left when they kicked the field goal to take the lead. And of course, it's just the way it is, man. It's just NFL football. Like, okay, there's 20 seconds left. Okay, well, great. Well, that game's over. I'm going to get the ball back. Unfortunately, it doesn't bode well.
There was also 2 possessions after that happened as well.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
They actually got the ball back. Yeah, so it's just it's unfortunate because it ends the division bet pretty much, because the Colts are officially, I think, done for the division pretty much.
Really?
So yeah.
Why do we have
unfortunate.
Page is so bright.
But shout out to Phillip Rivers. Isn't he's a grandfather, right? He is a
grandfather.
Yeah, he has a son that has a child. So
yes.
To have a 44-year-old grandfather out there slinging the ball around.
Pretty cool. Took a couple shots, bounced right back up. You got a lot of padding in here now, Jeff.
I know a lot of people bet his over. And unfortunately he did not get there. His over went from like 150 all the way up to like 154 by kickoff. I believe, and a lot of people I know thought that there was a chance for him to do that. I couldn't believe, as somebody who's had the Seahawks defense in fantasy in both leagues I'm in the playoffs in, that they couldn't do anything. Like, they've been so good this year. They put up 30-something points for me the past, like 2 of the past 3 weeks. And then yet now we're sitting here and you have a literal statue in the backfield and you just can't get to him. So
definitely didn't bode well for
NFL
those of us
funny.
that had the Colts players in fantasy. Again, just kind of, when you lost Daniel Jones, it was kind
I didn't know
everybody's side.
Wait, Brett Favre was a grandfather as well too? Started a game? I mean, I knew that the Bears were his child, but I didn't know that the Bears had a kid as well.
This coming from a 7-7 lost to the Saints and now have to try to beat the Panthers. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
We put it on team, right?
So this is where I was going to give my Cam Newton shout out here. Obviously, if you see any clips or anything, Cam Newton always complains about he doesn't get a shot in the NFL. And, he thought it was a slap in the face. Let me just put a little direction in all of this for everyone else out there that has a common sense of a brain. Phillip Rivers was with Shane Steichen for years in L.A. or San Diego, whatever the Chargers were at that point in time. He was in his offense for years. There's a relationship between the quarterback and a head coach, or I think he was the offensive coordinator over there. Like, there was something that they'd built up, right? They know each other. They know tendencies when you work with the quarterback for years and years. And of course, that's going to translate immediately to the same offense and to the same offense that Phillip Rivers is running in high school. So get off your soapbox, Cam. You had your shot. You chose to be a public figure. You chose to say some questionable shit. You are probably one of the most talented athletes to walk the earth. Probably one of the greatest seasons a quarterback's ever had. But your decisions and the way that you handled yourself makes you not want to be touched. Now, with that being said, I don't think that was a factor here at all. I think it was a factor of we need somebody that can come in immediately. We mortgaged our house for Sauce Gardner, whoever's idea that was
Terrible.
Like, we have to win right now. It's not a, hey, I bring in a Cam Newton and, we get through 1 week of practice and maybe he has the offense or maybe he knows what I'm trying to do. No, they had to win today. They didn't get it done, but Phillip Rivers gave them a chance and did not lose the game for them. So that's all I'm going to say about that. That shit just bothers me, man.
Yeah, I mean, Phillip Rivers had the only touchdown of the day too, so there is that.
Yeah, without even scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
6 field goals. So
unbelievable. One of the games of the week.
If you had Myers in Jason Myers in fantasy football.
If only we were in a fantasy football league with kickers. If only. Lions headed to the Rams. Jeffrey, this is the game that I really like the Lions here. I thought that they were going to put up a fight. The line got moved to 6 at kickoff. I took them +6 and gave the house my money again. Shout out to them. We did talk about Davante Adams coming up lane with the hamstring injury. According to Shefty, he thinks Davante Adams is out for the regular season.
Yeah.
That they will not bring him back. Simply to keep them in a good spot for the playoff run, which has some serious implications. Now, I talked a little bit earlier, or I talked about it on the show. The Bears hold the tiebreaker over the Rams, which I did bring it up. I can't remember what exactly the terms were again. So this injury for Davante Adams is very important because it could put into question the bye. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I think you probably sit him this week, right? And see what happens with the Bears Packers. Because if the Bears lose and the Packers lose, well, if you lose, then you're all, I don't know, Jeff. How would you play this out? I mean, it's obviously very important for the Rams to have that first round bye to, get their guys healthy to try to give him. But at the end of the day, you're only a game ahead.
Yeah, and you play the Seahawks this week on Thursday night.
You play the Seahawks, the Falcons, and then the Cardinals.
Yeah. So they'll beat the Cardinals and the Falcons without Davante Adams. I don't know if they beat Seattle.
But he can't play, he's not going to play this week, though.
No, I know. I'm saying
so, I guess, so at that point, you're actually right. So if they can win without him this week, great. He gets the first round bye potentially. But if not, you still need him healthy for the first round of the playoffs.
The only way that they do this is if they get the Sam Darnold primetime seeing ghosts. And Jared Verse and Braden Fisk are just so disruptive. And Emmanuel Forbes can actually guard somebody. It's going to be tough. But we just saw, like, Sam wasn't great yesterday. He hit some throws at the end to get them down there, but they never pushed it through. And it's not like they have a great pass defense out there in Indy. So
I thought it was a good breakdown by Dan this morning. He was talking about the Seattle offense is really one-dimensional. And when you take that away, they don't have much.
Chad, I do want to touch on this, though, when it comes to Kansas City. And I do appreciate the fact that there are injuries. Obviously, the Simmons thing happened, which is super fluky. You don't know what people are going to be going through mental health-wise and stuff like that. And I understand that's, a big part of what you did. But they haven't been able to run the ball the entire year. I mean, it's not just the past few weeks. It's the entire year they haven't been able to run the ball. We've talked about it week in and week out. And I don't know if it's just a lack of commitment, a lack of care, of an uppiness of thinking that you don't need to.
Even when they were healthy, though, they didn't run the ball.
Well, what I'm saying is that in previous seasons, they've had more of a balance, I feel like. Whether that be Pacheco or, whether that be, somebody coming out of the backfield catching balls, McKinnon or, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, whoever it was, they always had somebody in there. This year, it's just been either Kareem Hunt or Patrick Mahomes. There's been nothing else. They've tried to get Rashard Smith to be that guy. He hasn't stepped into the role. And so I just think that it's just a failure by the organization to address a point of need, in my opinion.
Again, why not trade for Breece Hall? You're a third round pick or a fourth round pick, really?
Yeah,
that could have saved your season.
Listen, I don't disagree with you here, Chad. I will say I would be more interested in Corum and Kyron Williams props on Thursday night than I would be wanting to take, Nakua or, one of the other Higbee or, who's the other tight end who just went crazy this week for them?
I don't know. We talked about it earlier too. I agree. I agree with Chad as well, and you as well. I think the way that if you can keep Matt Stafford upright, he's going to pick you apart. And I think that's why the Bears, even if they do make the playoffs, aren't going to go very far. And I think that's something that they're going to have to address in the offseason. You got to have pass rushers in this league, because if you leave a quarterback back there, they're going to pick you apart, 100%.
Yeah. And it's Jordan Whittington, Colby Parkinson, who had 2 touchdowns this week as well too. Yeah, I mean it's going to take all of it. But I do agree with you. But I think they can run that personnel grouping and put them into some weird spots. And it's a short week. I mean, they just played a battle out there in Seattle, and now they got to turn around and get right back to it. So it'll be a good game. I can't believe I want to do away with division games on Thursdays. I've said it once. I'll say it a million times. I hate division games on Thursdays. I don't think it's right. I don't think the NFL should be doing it, especially when those games matter so much more for playoffs.
But you also don't want shit games on Thursdays.
I don't care how bad the games are on Thursdays.
Really? I do believe you've been on record here. Be like, what is this shit that they keep giving us on Thursday nights?
Sure. Get rid of Thursday night games. I'm completely cool with that. Get rid of Thursday night.
I think there's a lot of people that would like to get rid of Thursday night games. But it's never going to happen. It's a money grab. We all know that. Cowboys are finally eliminated. I'm not going to give them any time. I'm so sick and tired of hearing of the Dallas Cowboys and their miraculous comeback season. Y'all are done. I will say this. I am one of the few, I guess, if you want to call them talking heads or somebody that gets up here and when they, make mistakes or they see something that goes wrong, that I say, hey, you know what? I was wrong here. I'll be the first to say JJ McCarthy looked good, man. In the past 2 games, he's looked really good. So I've always been a big proponent of giving rookies some time. But I also was the one tooting the horn a couple weeks ago saying JJ McCarthy ain't it. So I will retract it a little bit and just simply say I have no idea what JJ McCarthy can do with the Minnesota Vikings. With a whole offseason to prepare and all that, I don't know. But you can definitely see where Kevin O'Connell and some of the people of the Minnesota Vikings, after watching some of these plays, might be like, okay, the talent's there. How can we extract it? How can we put them in the right positions to be able to make the right plays? However, I also said at the beginning of this year, it is a definitely win now league, and I think the Vikings are ready to win now. And I don't think JJ McCarthy gives them the best chance to win now. And that was my biggest thing, especially going into the season, why they shouldn't have go ahead and took an Aaron Rodgers, right? Somebody that gives you the opportunity to win now. And I get it, Chad, because at the end of the day, that team is built to win now. Like they're not in a position to develop a quarterback for 2 to 3 years. That team is built now. And the salary caps are going to start hitting, and eventually that team's not going to be ready to win now. So that was my only concern. He did have some good throws. I don't know what his passer rating was the past couple games, but he definitely looked good. But again, just glad that we can finally just stop talking about the Dallas Cowboys, even though they have a 0.05 or 0.5% chance to win. If they win every single one of their games and the Eagles lose every single one of their games, then yes, they can go. So they're done. Put them in a roster. Jerry, you're not America's team. Take a back seat. Watch the Chicago Bears. Okay.
I mean, they're still probably the highest valued franchise in the NFL.
They are.
Anyway, yeah, I thought JJ was fine. I didn't think he was great. I didn't think he was bad. I thought he was fine. I would have loved to have had 3 more rushing yards from him. But it's neither here nor there. I think Justin Jefferson looks frustrated. This game sucked, man. I went out to watch it. I did fucking family shit all day. I was like, let me go watch this game.
Jeffrey,
and get away. And I put the kicker bet in, and I cashed it out when Minnesota got the ball back at the very end, 30 seconds before they kicked the second field goal to hit the kicker bet. Jeremy watches me do it. And then we just needed 3 more yards from JJ McCarthy to hit for, 300 and whatever. And just couldn't get him to run. It was just frustrating. Very frustrating.
Was this a parlay, Jeffrey?
Yeah.
5 for 3.
I think who would be interesting in my opinion in Minnesota next year?
JJ McCarthy, because that's the quarterback that's going to be there.
Jameis Winston.
As a backup, sure.
Can you imagine Jameis with those weapons? They give Jameis fucking. Even Naylor's been good.
Nobody doubts
Addison,
Jameis'
Justin
ability to whip the
Jefferson,
ball.
decent O-line, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, TJ Hawkinson, Josh Oliver. I think it'd be fun, personally. But anyway, he's a national treasure. Not everybody can have him or deserves him.
Isn't he still under contract?
I don't think did he sign a 2-year deal or a 1-year deal with New York?
2-year, $8 million.
Sorry, Kyler
Jeff.
Murray.
Ooh. Baby arms. Well, all right, Jeff, we got Dolphins Steelers tonight, buddy. Dolphins obviously on the uptick here, playing a little bit better ball. Obviously, McDaniel's fighting for his coaching job. Do they stand a chance in Pittsburgh? I don't think the Dolphins play very well in cold weather.
How cold is it? Like snowing cold?
It's colder than Miami.
Okay, whatever. I am in a predicament tonight. And whatever, I can't wait to go to my son's Christmas concert and hear him play the trumpet during this game. It's going to be fantastic, especially when I'm sweating out. I need 20 points from Jalen Waddle in the big league. And then the other league, I'm down by 20. He has Waddle, I have Achane. So I get to root against myself tonight. Let's go, Jalen Waddle. Please, for the love of God, give me 20 points. Let me move on in the big league. Be great. Can they do it? I don't know.
All right, Jeffrey,
TJ Watt's going to be out.
It'll be 18 degrees.
Okay.
66% humidity. 4% precipitation chance. 58% cloud cover with 8-mile-an-hour winds.
No wind to speak of. Give me Dolphins playing their ass off right now. No TJ Watt. Not going to get any pressure on Tua tonight. The secondary has been Swiss cheese. Tua lights him up. Jalen Waddle score a touchdown and 100 yards. Book it. Keep it fucking moving.
Let's keep it moving because I really have nothing to say. I think both these teams are shit.
You want to talk about DJ Lagway?
I do want to talk a little bit of college here. I don't want to start off with DJ Lagway, though. I want to save that bullet for a little bit later. I do want to talk about the Michigan coach who apparently went completely off the rails over the week.
Bonk.
Yeah, so apparently he was having a relationship with a staffer. Obviously, it's a white girl because why wouldn't it be? Well, that just sends that whole half of Twitter on fire. He has a wife and 3 kids. This is the preliminary. Gets caught.
Yeah.
Gets fired.
Yeah.
Goes crazy.
Yeah.
Breaks into said girl's house. Holds a knife to someone's throat, whether it was her throat, his throat, both throats. Threatens to kill them both.
That old Shane Gillis where he's
threatens to kill them both.
Yeah.
Police are called. He's arrested. From my understanding, he's still in jail. Now let's just also preface this with suicide is a very serious thing. If you're feeling this way, please reach out to get help. Apparently, he had suicidal intentions years ago. Bro,
should have done it.
People are wild to me. Wild. You are the head coach of Michigan football. You're getting paid millions of dollars.
12 mil.
You have a wife. You have 3 kids. I don't give a shit if you hate your wife and hate your kids.
Mm-hmm.
You have a responsibility. You entered said responsibility. You committed to her, to them, to be there. You don't do this shit, man. I could care less how much you hate your wife. I could care less. I don't care if you don't find her attractive. You don't sleep around. Just don't. Like, come on. You had everything. Now you've lost everything. And you're going to lose even more when the wife divorces you and takes everything else. And rightfully so. And you're probably going to be in jail for a few years for attempted murder. Bro.
He'll get released. He'll do some kind of house arrest.
For attempted murder?
And it's not attempted murder.
If you put a knife, let me see the charges here.
There were a few missteps here. The first one is You don't order Plan B from DoorDash to the Michigan facilities and walk outside to go pick it up.
Oh, I
That's
didn't see that one.
that was how this whole thing, the whistleblower came. Was that a DoorDash driver delivered Plan B to Michigan facilities, and hand delivered it to Sharon Moore himself. He then took that, walked it to the assistant, who, by the way,
Didn't want to take it.
who, by the way, just got a raise, double the pay that she was getting before. This year, he go ahead and earmarked that. Then supposedly, the whistleblower happens about the Plan B thing and so on and so forth, and Michigan starts to do their own inquiry into what's going on. The day that Sharon Moore goes crazy, they had a coaches meeting and Sharon Moore was not invited to it. He found out about the meeting and realized that the writing was on the wall, and that's what set him off to go crazy. Now, when he found this out, he then fired her, which is an issue as well too. Dumbass. So just a ton of missteps here by Sharon Moore. He's an idiot.
I love that. I love that setup. Just a few missteps here.
Just a lot of missteps here.
All right, well, let me clear a few things up here.
The fact that you're DMing Instagram models at halftime of the Ohio State game this year as well too. They have documented screenshot proof of you sending this. By the way,
if we're gonna hold that with a grain of salt, should we hold the same one with Lane Kiffin's and all of those screenshots? Do we put the same value on those as well, or are those fake?
I mean, the girl came with receipts. She was offered. I mean,
because that's what a lot of people are saying. They're like, okay, so this guy screws one of his staff, or Lane Kiffin's out here running through the whole Ole Miss sophomore class.
If I'm not mistaken, Lane Kiffin's not married.
Yes, he is. He claims to be a devout Christian. Absolutely, he's married.
He got a divorce. Yeah, he did, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, well, I take that back. You are right.
Yeah, I think he has a girlfriend, but that he has been linked to for some time, but he's definitely not married. So I don't really think it's apples to apples when it comes to Lane Kiffin.
Well, you still can't run through college.
Why?
Attendees. No, it's not allowed, Jeff. It's not. It's called conflict of interest.
There's no conflict of interest. I'm the head coach. I'm not coaching them. I mean, maybe I am at certain points.
Yeah. Well, let me clear something up real quick here. I just wanted to close it. There are no attempted murder charges.
Right.
He was charged with felony third-degree home invasion and 2 misdemeanors, stalking in a domestic relationship and breaking and entering, and he was released after posting the $25,000 bond. So I can't with clarity say what the other stuff were. That was just the rumors that were coming out. So I apologize for the misstep there. But at the end of the day, you're absolutely right. He is. So now there's a third degree felt. Yeah, you're right.
Can we also say one other thing too? Like, I understand. My wife has my location services on just to have them just in case anything ever happens. If you're going through that mental break and you know everything that's going on, how the fuck are you not turning your location services off?
I find it amazing that your wife needs your location services. There's 3 places you're going to be.
Yeah.
3. And that's it. So if you're not at the 3 places, then yeah, call the police. 100%. 100%. Well, that also brings back some new coaching carousels, Jeffrey, with the opening at Michigan. A lot of people vying for the job. Of course, your boy, Davey Portnoy, is obviously saying John Gruden. This is the guy that you want in charge of the college football playoffs. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, what's wrong with John Gruden?
I don't have a problem with John Gruden. Apparently, John Gruden has no interest. I don't know. A lot of talk from Alabama, Kellen DeMore, leaving Alabama for that. And then I do believe the Arizona State guy.
Kenny Dillingham.
Kenny Dillingham, definitely at the top of the list there, apparently.
Yeah. Mike Norvell's product, Kenny Dillingham.
I would also say the fact that there is no movement right now would lead me to believe that they're waiting for some of these playoff teams to potentially get bounced before trying to poach one. Who would you like to see as the Michigan head coach, Jeff? Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah, Harbaugh would be great.
Bring back little brother, see if he can do
I
it.
don't know. Tom Brady. No, I don't know, man. I have no clue. I don't know where Michigan goes here. It's such egg on their face too, and now they have a whole internal investigation going on to like for improper things.
All the
That
athletic
it's like
department.
it's crazy, man. It's like one thing happens, and all of a sudden we got to kick over every single rock. So kind of wild. What's going on over there? Poor Sharon.
Three-time dropping a little nugget here. Apparently, Marcus Freeman may be in talks with the New York Giants.
Yeah, that's been much rumored.
Yeah, and can we talked about the Notre Dame schedule for next year, correct?
Yeah, it's super easy.
And did you also know with that schedule that they only have 3 away games? And with their new clause with the college football, as long as they're ranked in the top 12, they're guaranteed a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Well,
in other news, Fernando Mendoza wins the Heisman. Yeah. I mean, some of these trophies just seem a little watered down to me.
Did you even know the Heisman was going on?
I did. I actually had it up on the secondary TV.
Did you really?
But
I didn't even know.
Only because I got like an alert or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
I did listen to a speech. Great speech.
Speech.
Those are the kids that you want to root for.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then
everybody talks shit about Caleb crying. I mean, we're not going to give the same energy with Mendoza.
I think Caleb sometimes comes across as fake. That's why this seems genuine. And I'm not saying
I don't think Caleb's fake at all.
You didn't let me finish. I didn't say that Caleb's fake here. I said sometimes it appears to come across as fake, according to some people. So yeah, Fernando Mendoza wins the Heisman. And then Pavia has a meltdown completely at the other side of things, telling all of the voters to go F themselves.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, as Jeffrey would say, there was a couple missteps there.
He had some missteps. Maybe his delivery wasn't proper. But
the retraction statement and the apology, I think, was the right step there. He definitely got that across. So, yeah,
they had a thing of because he was at a nightclub. They went and popped bottles at some nightclub in New York or whatever. And they put on the sign, the sparkler sign, "Fuck Indiana." And somebody posted something of like they go a live look at Diego Pavia being arrested. And it's literally a midget getting like perp walked out of a nightclub with handcuffs on. It's fucking hilarious.
Love it. When you do that kind of stuff, man, you deserve everything. You know, him and Cam Scadaboo would be an interesting car ride.
Yeah,
they seem to me of the same cloth.
Probably be a good time. It'd be a fun night out.
Probably. They got more money than us. So, latest news here. Out of college football, University of Florida, DJ Lagway enters the transfer portal. Yeah. I hate college football, dude. Honestly, I could care less. But he was one of the 3rd or 4th highest paid in college football last year with over $3 million made. And I'm not going to give you the usual good luck wherever you go because I could give shit because you were paid that and arguably sucked last year. So yeah. I guess $3 million wasn't enough, so go get a bag somewhere else. I don't know. I mean, seemed like a good kid. Had a very strugglesome year, even when things were going right with Billy Napier. He missed the throws, missed the plays, had a little injury there for a little while. Really thought that he would stick it out. Now I don't know if this is because of the new incoming coach doesn't want him. So that could be something. There could be something where that coach is like, well, you played like shit. I'm not paying you $3 million again this year. And he's like, okay, well, I'm hitting the transfer portal. And if that's the case, business decisions, whatever. And that's the sad thing to say. There's no more once a Knoll, always a Knoll, once a Gator, always a Gator. It's not. It's just who's dangling the carrot. Who knows? Gators are in a complete rebuild anyway. The biggest target that we want to keep is Jaden Baugh. Let's just make sure that we keep him. One of the best running backs in the country. Carried the Gators for most of the season last year anyway. So let's make sure that we secure him, give him some of DJ's money, I guess. And let's move it on.
Maybe the single greatest individual performance in the history of Florida and Florida State playing each other. If we're going to be honest,
he hit records that haven't been touched since Emmitt Smith.
Yeah,
I mean, absolutely dope.
He was unstoppable too. I mean, just absolutely unstoppable. You didn't have to do anything except for turning him the ball
Yeah.
off, and you guys were just so much better and wanted it so much more than FSU did that game.
You know what also amazes me on this post, right? Like, you probably watched a few Gator games. Obviously, I watched the majority of them. He looked like shit most of the year. He didn't complete any of the passes that we saw the previous year where he would hit that teardrop dime down the sideline, right? And yet I'm looking on this and I'm seeing all of the stands come to Clemson, come to Florida State. There's a Florida State guy on there. Come to Miami,
Florida
and I'm
State
like,
can't afford him.
and I'm like, guys, you realize he was getting paid $3 million a year.
Yeah.
Okay. You can see there was some coaching, but there was a huge performance issue.
Yeah.
And you're like, come to my school. It'll be different here.
Yeah. And listen, Miami's going to have their pick of the litter when it comes to whatever quarterback they want. It was funny because Marcel Reed, this is his last year of eligibility anyway, I believe.
Yeah.
It was funny. Marcel Reed, the quarterback for Texas A&M, who's had a really, really good year, was on with Robert Griffin III and his wife, who host a podcast together. And, he was like, oh, I'm Texas A&M through and through, blah, 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 this and this and this. And they said, what if Miami offers you $4 million this offseason? And he goes, I'd have to call my mom.
Yeah.
Is what it is. He's like, I'd have to call my mom. We'd have to talk about it. I have to make a decision. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you if they did that, but that's where we are. Like, Miami can just swoop in and offer $4 million to whoever they want. There's no, that's why FSU caught a lot of shit about a lot of the contracts that they signed with some of these kids because they forced them into signing multiple year deals.
Which is rightfully just 1 year
deals. And it's like, if we're going to give you this money, we want you here for multiple years. And
that should be that's the way it should be.
Agents came out and said that it was done in poor taste, and that there's going to be backlash toward FSU about it because they're trying to negotiate terms that haven't been negotiated by any other school before. And it's like, I don't really care. Like, if I'm going to commit to you, I need you to commit to me a little bit as well too. And you can't just have free agency. Like, imagine the NFL every year, right? Free agency. Like, it's like you can't operate like this. It doesn't work.
This offseason needs some serious regulations. To your point, if you were to come to the University of Florida, and I think that you are who you are, whatever, I'm going to give you whatever $2 million. You're signing a 4-year contract with me, okay? And there will be accelerators, okay? There's ways to do your contract, but you're going to sign a 4-year contract with me. You can be out of this contract in a few different ways. If we fire the head coach, you are released of your contract. If you go pro, you're released of your contract. But it's the same thing as like what we saw. Oh, that was clickbait. Never mind. But that also requires you to play through bowl games. Like, it needs to be a business transaction. Like you said, imagine the NFL if your quarterbacks were all on 1-year deals.
Yeah. Or not even your quarterbacks. Every single player on your roster was on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
It could get poached by anybody anytime. Also, the timing of everything, we've said this before, is absolutely terrible. Anyway, I don't know. They got to change something.
What were you chuckling at there, Jeff?
I've had this thing in my mind because I just got a notification that Jalen Suggs is sidelined. And he got hurt in the NBA Cup game or whatever. And it says that he's sidelined with a hip contusion, so he has a bruised hip. He got wheeled out in a wheelchair after the game, and I just. Suggs is one of those guys who is like, he plays football and basketball, right? So he's diving on the court everywhere. He's always everywhere. He's always injured, always hurt. Do you think at any point that the rest of the team is just like, oh yeah, Jalen's hurt again? I just imagine he's like that guy that everybody just kind of fucking rolls their eyes and is like, yeah, there goes that guy again.
Yeah.
I don't know, made me chuckle thinking about.
Looks like LSU, Miami, and Baylor are all in on DJ Lagway.
Yeah, I think if Miami can't go get Marcel Reed from Texas A&M, they'll get DJ Lagway.
Quarterback DJ Lagway on his future with Florida after Billy Napier was fired. I'm a Florida Gator, man. I bleed orange and blue.
I did.
Oh, again, let's not put it completely on the kid. That could have been coaches. Be like, you just don't fit our system, and I don't want to pay you $3 million. So
who knows?
Yeah. Anything to wrap us up with, Jeffrey? 3 times. You coming in for a little discussion here, a little correction,
I got
errors,
nothing.
omissions.
Shout out to all the bots over there on X tuning in. We appreciate y'all.
What bots, bro? Those are bots. Those
Oh,
are
here we
not
go, Chad.
bots.
Early bets. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What do we got? Chargers, love it. New England, love it. Chicago, love it.
How
Tennessee.
are the Chicago Bears after losing Micah Parsons home dogs? That just doesn't make that's just disrespect,
It's
Jeffrey.
because it's not that. It's because they have 30 years of data that says that the Packers.
Oh, here we and Caleb beat them in Green Bay last year. Like, give me a break. And they were in that game. Jeff, don't do this. Don't start this. We're about to have a beautiful ending to a beautiful show. We're gonna have a great week. There's no shot. There's no shot that they should be.
Shout out. I'm gonna be on Pop Stars tomorrow with TJ. So if anybody's around at 10 a.m. and wants to tune in and argue with me and TJ over there, hop on in. Pop Stars Network. Be moonlighting a little bit.
3-time, any errors, omissions, concerns?
Confirmed ACL torn for Micah Parsons. That's the latest news that just came out.
Hate to hear it.
Commanders?
Do you?
I never want to see anybody get hurt, but I'm glad that we're not going against them.
Commanders +5?
It's going to be an interesting Saturday night.
How are the Chargers? Chargers are dogs to the Cowboys.
Well, Dallas traditionally hasn't lost at home. That was the one that bucked the trend. But yeah, whatever. And I know we didn't talk about it, but I just saw the line Houston -14.5 against Las Vegas. Can we talk about just real quick about the shambles that is happening in Las Vegas right now? Max Crosby, come to Chicago. Come on, buddy. Get free yourself.
If he wants to leave, he can go wherever he wants. I don't think the organization.
No, he wants to stay. He wants to stay.
That's the thing. He doesn't want to leave Vegas.
Which is why he's a straight edge. He needs. What does Vegas offer you?
Just because he doesn't drink or do drugs doesn't mean that Vegas doesn't offer him things.
Really? What else is there, Jeffrey? Prostitution and gambling?
Yeah.
My point exactly.
Just to name 2 things.
Get out of there. You can do all that in Chicago. We got casinos.
Yeah. No. You ain't got you ain't got the prostitutes in Chicago like they do.
Jeffrey, just trust me when I say believe me.
No.
Chicago can hold its own.
No.
Yeah. Come on, Max.
No.
Come on.
No. Stay in Vegas. Warm. Or it's hot. You don't gotta worry about 3 months of gray skies.
You just leave.
And cold.
Half the time the Bears aren't in the playoffs anyway, so you can just go ahead and get to Cancun anyway. Yeah. That's going to do it for us today on the Under4 Fan. Don't forget, we will be back Thursday. For Chad, I know you always wanted a Thursday show before Thursday Night Football.
You got 6 and we got 5 here. That sucks. They're +5 at Hard Rock. Whatever.
Hard Rock is just straight garbage.
They gave you your slider.
Confirmed listeners, after we dogged them last week, they changed their entire betting app to where we have sliders now so we can pick the points. So confirmed listeners, Hard Rock, appreciate you. Even though you took my money this week, I will be back. I only lost 1.3 units, so we will be back this week to see how it goes.
Shout out to all 123 people in the chat as well too that tune in today.
And the millions that watch the replays
that
worldwide. Thank you again for the love on YouTube Shorts, man. Getting over 1,000 views over there, a lot of engagement. Appreciate you guys over there on YouTube. Jeremy, nice Chivon shirt. I remember those days.
Yeah.
I had a whole
collection. I got to go take my kid to the dermatologist.
Jeffrey, you have a blessed day. Jeremy, you as well. If you do have to be driving this week, please, for the love of God, stay out of the left-hand lane.
Let's go Jalen Waddle tonight. Jalen Waddle, baby. Let's go.
Bear down.
Bear down.